Tonight's message arrives like a quiet knock on the door of your spirit, gentle but impossible to ignore. If you found this video, or if it somehow appeared in your feed when you weren't looking for anything in particular, understand this clearly. You were guided here. You were not called by chance, algorithm, or coincidence. You were called because something around you shifted. Something you didn't see tried to interfere with your peace, your path, or your purpose. And at the exact moment when that unseen threat moved closer, a shield rose in front of you, soft in form, radiant in presence, but stronger than anything that dared come against you. And that shield was her. Tonight, the Virgin Mary sends a message you were meant to hear. Danger was near, but I stood in front of you. And because she stood there, blocking what was never meant to touch you, you are here now, breathing, searching, awakening, and slowly understanding that the invisible world is far more active in your life than you ever imagined. She wants you to receive this revelation with an open heart, because what she protected you from was not small, not harmless, not something you could have handled on your own. But she stepped in anyway, without hesitation, without waiting for permission, without expecting praise. She protected you because you are loved. She protected you because you are guided. She protected you because your story is not finished. And tonight she wants to tell you why the danger came, what it was trying to accomplish, and what she did to stop it. So take a slow breath. Let the noise around you fade. There is something sacred happening in this moment, something meant only for the person whose soul recognizes these words. If that's you, then let's continue. Because once you hear what she has to say, you will never walk the same path with the same fear again. There are moments in life when everything suddenly feels heavier, when you wake up tired without knowing why, when you feel watched even though no one is around, when a strange pressure sits on your chest, or when unexpected misfortune seems to chain itself around your days. You chalk it up to bad luck, stress, or exhaustion. You convince yourself you're overreacting. But Mary sees deeper than what your eyes can detect. She sees the hidden intentions of people, the quiet jealousy that follows you, the envy behind forced smiles, the bitterness behind certain words disguised as advice. She sees the shadow before it steps into the room. She sees the attack before it touches your life. And many times, far more than you realize, she has stepped in front of you before danger ever reached your doorstep. Recently, there was a moment when something tried to shift your direction sharply, violently, and unfairly. Something tried to place itself between you and your next blessing, your next opportunity, your next emotional breakthrough. This danger didn't always look physical. Sometimes it takes the form of a decision that would have harmed you, a relationship that would have drained you, a conversation meant to wound you, a betrayal preparing to unfold. But before it could complete its mission, something interrupted it. And that interruption was her presence. Quiet but unwavering, soft but immovable, loving but fiercely protective. She positioned herself like a warrior dressed in gentleness, not with weapons, but with a radiance that dissolves darkness on contact. Where danger moved forward, she stepped forward faster. Where harm advanced, she stood tall. And where fear tried to invade your spirit, she placed her hand over your heart and whispered, "Not this one. Not today." Some of you almost made a choice that would have taken you down a long, painful path. A path of regret. A path of emotional ruin. A path of financial loss. A path of heartbreak disguised as romance. A path of betrayal disguised as opportunity. And yet you didn't. Something stopped you. Something didn't feel right. Something inside you said, "Wait." Something told you to step back. That something wasn't random intuition. It was her. Others were walking into relationships with people wearing masks. Masks of kindness, masks of charm, masks of empathy. But underneath was a darker intention, something that would have drained your joy, manipulated your emotions, or taken advantage of your goodness. But before your heart could be harmed, she pulled you away, even when it hurt, even when you didn't understand why certain things fell apart suddenly. Rejection was protection. Delays were protection. Closed doors were protection. And though you may have cried, she wants you to know. You cried in safety, not in danger. And then there are those who were physically near harm. An accident almost happened, a situation escalated, someone's anger rose too quickly, or a moment nearly went wrong. But something interfered. Something caused a shift. Something changed the timing. Something protected you. You call it luck. She calls it intervention. You call it coincidence. She calls it shielding. You call it strange timing. He calls it standing in front of you. And if you listen closely, you may even feel her presence now, gentle, comforting, but unmistakably real. She doesn't step in only when things are at their worst. She steps in the moment danger begins to move toward you. The moment darkness forms a plan. The moment harm sets its intention. She steps forward first. She places herself between you and anything that tries to threaten your peace, your stability, your future, or your faith. But tonight's message is not only about what she blocked. It's also about what she is preparing you for. Because when danger approaches and she intervenes, it is usually the sign that something big is coming. Blessings often attract interference. Light draws shadows. Progress invites resistance. And the enemy of your destiny often tries to disrupt you right before things get better. She wants you to know that the danger came because you are getting closer to something meant for you. Something significant. Something you prayed for. Something aligned with your soul. The danger was not a sign to fear. The danger was a sign that you are moving in the right direction. And her standing in front of you was the sign that no matter who or what tries to stop your progress, they will fail. Because she will not allow harm to touch what belongs to the divine. She wants you to know that the protection she gave you was not temporary, accidental, or limited. It wasn't a one-time intervention. It is ongoing, constant, and deeply intentional. He watches as you sleep. He stands near you when you feel alone. She surrounds your home when you are unaware. She places a shield around the path you walk. And she warns, danger was near, but I stood in front of you. And I will continue to stand there. This isn't just comfort, it's a promise. Right now, she is preparing to clear the last remnants of an emotional storm that has hovered over your life. You've been carrying heaviness from past wounds, fear from past experiences, hesitation from past disappointments. He saw all of it. She knows how tired your heart has been. And she knows how your spirit has been asking for clarity, peace, and direction. That is why she stretched out her hand and intervened when danger approached. Because you were too close to your breakthrough to be interrupted by anything that does not deserve to be part of your divine story. She wants you to release the fear that something bad is going to happen. You've been holding that fear for too long, expecting disappointment, preparing for sudden loss, bracing for heartbreak, or waiting for the next setback. But those fears are leftovers from old pain, not reflections of your future. She's clearing that energy now. She is removing that weight from your spirit. She is untangling the anxiety you've been living with. And as she does, she whispers, "You are protected in ways you will never fully understand. Your story is not in danger. Your purpose is not in danger. Your future is not in danger." Because she saw the danger and stood between you and it. And now she wants to shift your focus from fear to readiness, from doubt to trust, from heaviness to expectation. Because when she blocks danger, it is not only to keep you safe, it is to keep the path clear for something important to reach you. Something she has been preparing for you. Something that requires you to be protected, stable, and spiritually grounded. She wants you to know that the blessing coming toward you is bigger than the danger that tried to stop it. Something in your life is about to turn. A situation that felt hopeless is about to break open. A heavy season is about to lift. A deep emotional wound is about to receive healing. A long-standing problem is about to dissolve. An opportunity close to you before is about to reopen in a surprising way. But first she needed to warn you. She needed to show you how close the danger came. Not to frighten you, but to show you how powerful her protection truly is. You are not walking alone. You are not fighting alone. You are not making decisions without guidance. You are not unprotected even if it feels that way sometimes. Something was coming toward you, but the divine stepped in front of you. And now something else. A blessing, a revelation, a moment of divine favor is coming next. And she wants you ready. So breathe deeply. Let the tension leave your shoulders. Let the fear loosen its grip. Let the scenery of your past struggles slowly fade. Because the Virgin Mary is standing before you, not only as a protector, but as a witness to the transformation that is about to reach your life. You didn't come here by accident. You were led here because you needed to hear this today. And if these words resonated with you deeply, if you felt something shift inside you, if you felt a sense of recognition, peace, or emotion building in your chest, then let yourself become part of the community forming around messages like this. Leave a comment below telling us where you are watching from or what part touched your heart the most. It helps others feel less alone, and it reminds the world how many souls are healing together. Don't forget to like this video if it reached you and subscribe so you never miss the messages meant for you. Your life is about to move in a new direction. Stay close, stay open, and stay protected. She's walking with you. Always.